Hello everyone and welcome. I'm so happy you're here today. In this video, you are not only going to listen to an interesting story, but you will also learn powerful life lessons that can truly inspire you. The more you listen, the more your English will improve and the more your heart will grow with motivation. So, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey you will never forget. The story begins. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village in England, there lived a young man named Thomas. Thomas was like many of us. He had dreams, he had fears, and sometimes he doubted himself. Every morning he would wake up, look in the mirror, and whisper, "One day, my life will change." But here's the thing, Thomas never knew when that change would come. He always thought that maybe tomorrow, or next week, or next year, something magical would happen. Yet, day after day, life stayed the same. One rainy evening, Thomas met an old traveler at the village square. The traveler was sitting under a tree. His clothes were wet, but his eyes were full of light. Curious, Thomas approached him and asked, "Sir, why do you look so happy even though you're cold and alone?" The traveler smiled and replied, "Because happiness does not come from where I am, it comes from who I am." Those words hit Thomas deeply. He had always been waiting for the perfect moment, but the traveler was living joyfully, even in the rain. The turning point. From that day, Thomas decided to change one small thing every day. He began waking up earlier, reading books, helping his neighbors, and practicing gratitude. Slowly, people in the village started to notice. He was no longer the quiet young man who doubted himself. He became someone who inspired others. One morning, a child came running to him and said, "Thomas, I want to be like you when I grow up." That simple sentence brought tears to his eyes. At that moment, he realized something powerful. When you improve yourself, you don't just change your own life, you also change the lives of people around you. The lesson for us. Now, why am I telling you this story? Because just like Thomas, many of us wait for the perfect time. We say, "I'll learn English tomorrow. I'll start my dream next year. I'll change my life when everything is ready." But the truth is, the perfect time doesn't exist. The only time we truly have is now. If you want to improve your English, start listening and repeating every day. If you want to change your future, take one small action today. It doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be consistent. Remember, small steps every day lead to big transformations. Inspiration for the audience. So my dear friends, I want you to ask yourself today, what small step can I take right now that my future self will thank me for? Maybe it's learning one new word in English. Maybe it's calling a family member to say you love them. Or maybe it's simply smiling at a stranger to spread kindness. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain, just like that old traveler. Thomas learned to dance in the rain. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. His small daily actions began to create ripples of change. The village, once quiet and ordinary, started to feel warmer, brighter, and more alive. Neighbors helped one another more, children laughed more freely, and even the adults began to dream again. One evening, as Thomas walked through the village square, he saw the old traveler once more, sitting under the same tree. This time, Thomas smiled and said, "Sir, I understand now. Happiness isn't waiting for life to be perfect. It's choosing joy in every moment, no matter what." The traveler nodded, his eyes twinkling. "Exactly, Thomas. And the most beautiful part is that joy grows when shared. You have learned the secret that many search for their whole lives." Thomas realized that the journey was not about a single moment of success or a magical change. It was about every little step he took, every act of kindness, and every decision to improve himself. He understood that life's true magic is in the everyday choices we make, the love we give, and the courage we show even when things seem uncertain. From that day forward, Thomas became not just a dreamer, but a doer, a beacon of hope in his village. And whenever someone felt lost or unsure, he would share the simple truth that changed his life. Start today, start small, but start. Your actions will grow, and so will your heart. And so, the little village in England became a place where dreams were nurtured, hope was contagious, and every heart learned to dance in the rain. As time passed, Thomas's influence grew beyond what he had ever imagined. It wasn't just the children who looked up to him anymore. Adults began seeking his advice, learning patience and perseverance. and starting to change their lives, step by step. One day, Thomas sat by the village lake, watching the sunlight dance on the water, reflecting on his journey. He remembered how he had started with just a small step, and now he could see how even a tiny action can create a ripple of change. A warm feeling filled his heart, a real joy, the kind that comes not from waiting, but from living fully in each moment and seizing every opportunity to grow. Then he recalled the words of the old traveler. Happiness does not come from where you are, but from who you are. Thomas smiled, understanding that he no longer needed to search for miracles outside himself. He was creating them inside himself and in the lives of those around him. Every small act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every simple gesture could change the world in ways bigger than anyone could imagine. The village itself began to transform. People laughed more freely, supported one another, and dared to dream again. The once quiet streets were filled with hope and warmth. And Thomas realized the ultimate truth. Life is not about waiting for perfect moments. It is about making the most of the imperfect ones. From that day forward, Thomas lived with a heart full of inspiration, knowing that the smallest step today could become the biggest change tomorrow. And whenever someone felt lost or afraid, he shared the simple, powerful truth that had changed his life. Start today. Take one small step. Keep going. Your actions will grow, and so will your heart. And so, the little village in England became a place where dreams blossomed, hope was contagious, and every heart learned to dance joyfully, even in the rain. And that, my friends, is the story of Thomas, a story that reminds us the change we dream of doesn't come from waiting, it comes from the small steps we take today. So go ahead, take that step, and let your life inspire others, just like Thomas did. Thank you for watching, and remember, your journey starts now.